Hey everybody, it's Russ Solomon here, and I'm here with Megan, a mother of three, right? Yes, three?
Yep,
Okay.
three girls.
Three is good, is a lot. So she's a mom of three, and she's also a graduate of my Intune Parents online program. The reason I have a program is because I really want to help as many parents as possible to go from stressful to peaceful parenting, so that you can be the parent you want to be, you can be the spouse you want to be, the partner you want to be, the person you want to be. And I really want to empower you to see and to take the right kinds of actions that will let you show up for your family, in healthy ways that really support everybody's well-being. And so that's what we're here to talk about today. And Megan, really thank you for joining me today. I appreciate that. And I'm glad to be able to talk to you, and I'm glad that we'll be able to share a little bit of your story. Um, I
Yeah,
also
thanks for
appreciate.
having me.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that you did, that to make your life easier, to make life easier for your family, as a result of maybe some of your actions. And so let me just kind of ask you. We'll kind of go back to the beginning. Um, what was your life like before you did the Intune Parent program?
Well, um, let's just say it's drastically changed from when I first got on that call with you, Russell. I was in a pretty low place. I think it had just been compounded years of learning to take care of a family, learning to be a mom, and kind of shoving my own needs at the wayside.
Yeah.
I mean, I think all parents can relate. It's not the easiest journey. There's no how-to book that it comes with. But for me, I had just gotten to this place. I just feel like the best word to describe it is just stuck. I was just stuck in this place. I felt really disconnected from my kids, from my husband, from myself. I felt a numbness and I think because of the craziness of schedules and parenting and different kids and their different needs. And I was just in a place of disconnect and just feeling stuck and looking and needing something that was going to help me to just break through that so that I could be the mom and show up and be the person that I wanted to be, that I knew was in there, but somehow through just the years of compounded, crazy as our lives get,
Sure.
I had just kind of lost touch with and forgotten. So that's kind of where I was before.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would you say, you named a few things, but what would you say were some of the biggest struggles that you had to deal with?
Probably just like struggles as in like with children or
Well, yeah, struggles as a mom. We all want to be at our best for our kids and, for
yeah,
our
okay.
partners. But yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I feel like patience was a big one. I was struggling just to have
Okay.
patience. I was struggling to not just kind of fly off the handle when things were stressful. I was feeling a lot of overwhelm because I think of overstimulation and not just knowing how to let that go, how to
Yeah.
kind of just step into a more empowered place. So I mean,
Sure.
struggling. And I think because of that, because I was so depleted and not filling myself, I feel like just my parenting ways, just being patient, just being there for my kids and I'm present. I was lacking in those things. And I don't know how bad, I think we're always our worst critics, but for me, I wanted to change and I didn't want to have to be in that struggle of knowing that I could do better if I could just only cope a little better.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Um, I know. So we got connected a while ago. I don't know, 8 or 9 months ago or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Um,
think in
Boy,
March.
it's been, yeah,
Yeah.
it's March. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. So
Beginning of
that
COVID.
exactly. Yeah, everything was just starting. We had no idea how it would go, and I knew at that time it was a very stressful time. So I sent out an email to many people, inviting them to get on the phone with me, as I have done in our Facebook group. And I always want to encourage people to get on the phone with me, because I feel like that's the best way I can help them to get to know them a little bit, get to understand kind of, what is working in their lives, what's not working, and then kind of figure out what, what is the ideal for your family in terms of your own situation, and what's ideal given your reality. And then the important part is I help people put a game plan together to make that happen, to close the gap if I can, and if we're a good fit and all that stuff. And so I put out an email kind of inviting people to get on a call with me, as I frequently do in this group. And so what I really wanted to know is, what was it that made you want to speak with me? What triggered your desire to say, I got to talk to Russ?
Yeah. Well, Russ, truthfully, I was like scared to death. When you have to make a phone call, I didn't know who you were. I didn't quite know exactly what you were offering, but I got to this place where I was just done. Like, I was tired of feeling tired and overwhelmed and stressed and just like up to my neck. Like I just was treading just deep water, and I kind of hit that wall. Like, enough was enough, and I wanted to make change. And so when that email came and you asked, to get on a call with you, as like as I was being, there's just something in me was like, just get on that call, just do it. And I think I just plugged in my information and press send, and immediately I was like, I did the wrong thing. And I was like, no, I just need to follow through, because I think for me at least, it just was a scary thing, and what if I can't be helped? What if this is just my life? Like, what if this is just the normal and I have to deal with it,
Wow.
So that was really why I jumped on, because I was tired of being just stuck in this place. Like, I wanted help, and I was ready to step in to whatever was needed to make that change.
Yeah. So you were kind of, if I'm hearing you correctly, you were sort of at a point where you were unhappy with how things were.
Totally.
And it was just time to change.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what I found over time is that the people who are at a similar point in their lives are the ones that I can be best at helping. It's, so the call really is for people who are ready to make the change, even if they're scared, even if there's fear. It's just like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Right. And so let me just talk to this guy, and maybe he helps me, maybe he doesn't, but it's like, it's an opportunity to find out.
Yeah.
And to be really honest, I can't help everybody. I don't know. And that's the point of the calls. One of them is to like find out, are we a good fit to work together? Sometimes yes,
and
sometimes
you even
no.
said that when we got on the call. I remember you saying, like, I'm here to make sure that we're a fit, like to make sure that I can help you. And I was really struck by that. Like, okay, he's not in this for himself. He's like really in this to help me.
Absolutely. So, it doesn't work any other way, but thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. Nobody wants to be pushed into something, or, I mean, if things are already uncomfortable and you're already scared to push the send button to request the call, it's like, I'm not going to push anything further than, like we just talk. And my hope is that, that's not the hope, but my goal is to serve everybody somehow on the call. And if that means that we wind up not, we're not a good fit, or we don't, we can't work together, what I try to do is point them in the direction that I think might help them, even if it's not me. So it's just a very respectful, mutual, gentle kind of call.
Yeah.
So what do you think that you got out of the call? Did you see something, or, basically, I think I have two questions in one here. Is, what did you get out of the call? Did you get the clarity I was hoping to give you? Did you get all the facts to make decisions about how to proceed with, what do you want it to do for yourself and your family? And the other part, I guess, is, what was it that actually made you decide to do the program?
Okay. Well, the first answer to your question.
Long question.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's good. Well, one, I was immediately relieved. I think just getting on the call and hearing your voice and realizing, like, okay, he's not like some sales guy. Like, I was kind of, who is this guy? But you were just immediately upfront and honest. And you're like, look, I'm here to help you. This is what I have to offer. And you asked me to tell you a bit of my story. And I did in more detail, than I'll share here. But
sure.
I just, like, coming out of that call, I came away with hope. Like, whoa, there's actually hope for me. I can actually step into this place of peace and calm. Like, I don't have to be this crazy, uptight, always like strung out mom. Like, I can
Uh-huh.
I can be calm and I can have what I wanted. And you kind of, in a way, I think helped me create a vision for what I wanted. And just ask me different questions and where I hope to be, and what does it feel like to be in that place? Like
Yeah.
if I did have my life in order, if I was a calm and peaceful mom, and there wasn't so much just what would that feel like and what would that be, and just tapping into that feeling of what it could be was really mind blowing. Like it was really the first kind of like sun parting through the clouds, like, oh, this is possible. This is possible for me. And there was this new hope. So because I felt that on the call with you, and then you explained to me a bit of the program and the tools that you that would come from joining the program, even though I didn't quite understand it all, I just knew like I need to do this. I want to do this. I don't want to stay anymore where I'm at. Like I want to make that change and I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
So I guess answering the second part of your question, um, all of that made me feel confident to say, I want this. I think I want this. And we decided that we were a pretty good fit. Like you felt like based on my story and my circumstances and my kids and what I was dealing with, that you could help me, that the tools that you had to offer through your program were indeed going to benefit me. And they totally have. They've been life-changing. And so that really gave me that courage to go forward and say, okay, I'm going to do this. I don't quite understand it, the whole thing. You know, you don't really see the whole broad picture of a program until you're actually in it and doing the work, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, that's really what made me jump in. And then you said to me, will you commit? And I remember that was just that moment of truth. Like I could back out now, but I'm here. And it was just taking that step. And I didn't know that I really was ready to commit. But when I said those words to you, I'm ready to commit.
Yeah.
It just sealed that deal. And I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah. It's so interesting. And I really do appreciate hearing that. You know, I think people make a decision to change things. Like people make the decision I'm in before we even talk, before they meet me. That's who comes to these phone calls. That's people who, people don't show up just to chat with me. They don't know me. You know, they're showing up because they're at a point where it's like, it's time to change my life. Maybe this guy can help me. Maybe he can't. And that's my same attitude. Maybe I can, maybe not. I hope I can. And so I think somewhere there's a deep decision, like I need to change things. And from that decision.
And I think Russ, that,
go ahead. Go.
Sorry. It glitched there. But I think that's why it's so important to get on a call with you. If I can just say this, is because you know what you have to offer in your program. Like you've created this amazing program and the tools that come with it that are like built upon each week. So when the person shares with you where they're at, what their struggles have been, it gives you an idea of, okay, can I, you know, like almost like a checklist, can these things, these programs, can my tools help this person?
Yes.
So when you're confident in saying to that person, well, when you're confident saying to me, like, I can help you, like, I know I can. It was just, and I can, you know, witness that you can.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. That's a great thing. It's an important thing to know, because there is definitely fear in like, even, you know, reaching out for help. That's something that I acknowledge and I appreciate for everybody I speak to. And so that's a great point, because I do know what my program can do and what it can do. That's why this is another reason it's important to have a conversation with people. And if I never make an offer to somebody to join the program if I'm not 100% sure I can help them. You know, I don't want to create this legacy of like Russ doesn't help people. You know, I want 100% satisfaction rate. You know, I want you know, people who are ready and committed to do it, but also I don't want to let anybody down. I want to know that I can help them. And if I tell somebody that I can, then I'm sure, and they're going to be sure also. You know, even if they don't know what it looks like or how or exactly how does this thing work or what are the tools, if there's a sense that both of us need to have a sense that this can work, and then that's when I would invite somebody in. So that's
and your confidence in me gave me confidence in me. Like you knew that I could benefit from this, and I was like, okay, I can. And like just that hope that you had given me, you coupled with that, I think this is going to work for you, was just okay,
Absolutely. Yep.
finally some relief.
Yeah, I mean
Mm,
that's great, and I'm so glad that we connected, that we met each other. But there's also an important thing to bring up,
mm,
and that is it's not, it's very much a partnership. It's not just me doing things or giving you magic tools
yeah,
and then you're better. Each person has to be committed and show up, and they have to do the work. They got to follow the program and do kind of what I'm asking them to do in the program,
yeah,
100% committed, just knowing that it's going to be work, that it's going to work for them.
yeah,
um, so it's kind of both of us partnering. I can kind of give you the tools, I can reach out to everybody, but they have to take my hands. They have to
yeah,
they have to also do it.
yeah,
So the awesome results that you're going to share with us in a little while didn't happen because of just something that I did.
yeah,
It's you were in action. It's I don't know, I mean, I try to make it simple, but it's not easy. Sometimes some parts of this work, because it's
mhm,
very deep work sometimes, is not it's not easy work at all.
yeah,
But for people who are more committed to their own happiness, peace, freedom, being the best mom, dad, parent they can be,
mhm,
more committed to that than to stay in their suffering or just stay in pain, and are willing to stay resourceful, stay committed to doing that work. We've seen some awesome things, and
yeah, yeah.
you know, actually, that is my next question. So, what
Oh.
has shifted for you as a result of the program? What have you noticed? What's different for you now?
Yeah, well, I honestly feel like a new person. I know that sounds so weird, and but
Wow.
I look back at where I was and creating that vision, of where I wanted to be. And you had us write it down. And when I go back and read what I wrote, I'm amazed that I'm in it now.
Mm.
Like it, and at that time, it felt so far away. Like it was just, you've got to be kidding. Like, can I really get there in 8 weeks? But what's been amazing is the things that your course teaches, Russ, aren't like they stay with you for life. And um,
Yeah.
just through the videos that you share, there's just so much mental awareness that I just feel like just shifts perspectives and intentions. And then coupled with, the exercises you have us do. And even though they seem kind of maybe small at first or repetitive, but just like celebrating wins, for example, like you're starting to be intentional with your focus and where you want to be. So that was a huge thing for me. I think I was so focused unconsciously, that kind of like little mom guilt
Mhm.
voice in my head, like, you're not enough, you should be doing more art, like all those things that we sometimes suffer with. I i mean, occasionally things will come up now, but I've almost in a way through the exercise and stuff have shifted to be like, wait, where am I winning, where am I succeeding, and celebrating those times actually brings more of those times. And so it's just been like almost like a lifestyle brain switch, I guess.
Mm.
um, but I feel like I'm in this place of peace that I didn't know I could be in, like just a calm where before it just, the storm was raging and I'm treading water. I'm now just kind of like laying back in my inner tube and just floating down
Ah,
the river. And it feels good. I mean, yeah, there's an occasional wave and bump in the water and I hit a rock or I go down a little water slide,
yeah.
but for the most part, I understand, like, I'm okay to be present in the moment now. I'm okay to see what it is. I'm okay to acknowledge um, those, disturbances and let them go. And you teach this in the course. And it just,
Sure.
so even though these things seem so simple now, speaking to them about them, at the time it was like, how do I do this? But
Yeah.
it's become a way of life for me. And as a result, I feel like my children have the me that I want to be for them. And I feel like I can sleep at night or go to sleep at night not feeling guilty or not feeling like, I shouldn't have said that, or I shouldn't have yelled, or I shouldn't, but just like I'm so calm now that I feel like they are so calm. Like it's dropped the stress and the overwhelmment for our whole family, my husband included. Like I think before everyone felt a little bit like they were walking on eggshells, and not that we intentionally decide to put ourselves in that stressful situation, but it just happens just with
Of
life and
course.
schedules and parents and
Yeah.
needs, and like it just is. And but now realizing that really that stuff doesn't matter, and it's going to come and go, and just learning how to ride those waves in a peaceful way. So I feel like, anyway, so it's such a long answer, but
It's a great answer.
it has, like, it has just brought about just a steadiness, if anything, just like a real steadiness. And I'm comfortable with myself now. I'm not regretting anything. And I feel like my children have me, and I'm so grateful for that. Like, I knew I was in there just a little, stuck, but I just feel like I'm open and present and connected. So yeah, it's,
Wow.
I am so glad that I did
Yeah.
this program.
That's awesome. That is so great. Thank you for sharing that. Normal, I think, is what we see every day. And we get used to like things that we shouldn't be normally used to.
Yeah.
Levels of stress and reacting in certain ways. And so then it just is like kind of how we are. We don't realize sometimes that there's a way out. Or even if you do realize, it's like, how do you do it?
Yeah. Well, and I was in that place of reaction all the time, rather than just letting go and taking action in positive ways.
Yeah.
So that, yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of the things, is to first see that there could be another way.
Yeah.
And then that's like the first important thing. How could this be different? What else is possible? And then, that's where the tools come in, is, how do you do that? Those are the how to. And so that's kind of what the course is about. So yeah, and then those things, that new reality, the new mindset for you, become your normal. Or become what's normal for you. And as you change, it changes how it changes how we interact with our families. It changes how the silent energy between our kids and us.
There is like a visible ripple effect, like, and it
Yes.
can't be helped. And that's what I've seen. It just there, you
Yeah.
could compare my house 8 months, 9 months ago to what it was to now, and there's like a visible difference. Like, I can feel the difference.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's what gets me so excited about this work that we're doing, is by helping parents to find their peace, to bring harmony into their homes. It does have a ripple effect. People know that. This is not anything like earth shattering that I'm sharing.
No.
We know that, when we're angry and upset, that affects other people, and
Yeah.
the other way around. But really, this is about how to give you some tools and some strategies and some, concepts about how do you willfully, intentionally shift things when they're not going the way you want them, and so that you can get to a place where you're at a healthier, more peaceful place, and then take actions to help your family, or deal with whatever situation you have to deal with. And you're doing it then from a place of peace and strength and empowerment, rather than stress and overwhelm. And like, you can't see clearly, then you can't make good decisions. Nobody can when you're so upset and overwhelmed. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's what turns me on so much about this, is that I can help entire families by helping one person, helping the parent, a parent who is willing to look at things differently, and to try something different. And so, what would you say to those parents who are struggling maybe with some of the same issues that you already mentioned, in terms of what this program has done for you? What would you say to them?
Well, first, that there is hope, that you don't have to be in that place of stuck and just constant overwhelm and stress, but there is hope, and there are tools that you can learn to alleviate that stress and that overwhelm, and just find a new perspective and a new vision of the person that you want to be. I really believe, Russ, that all of us desire to be better in some way or another. And I think especially as parents with our kids, like, we want to be our kids' heroes, and we want to give them a life that maybe that we didn't have, or that we did have, that we want to give to them. And I just feel like we can, like, now going through this program, I just confidently can say, you can give your kid that life. You don't have to be, the wicked mother or the wicked father, like, you can give them the life that you hope to give them. And it just really comes down to you, and looking within. That was the one thing that was really eye-opening to me. It's really not about all of them, the chaos and stress they're causing me, but it's me, and finding my place of calm and my center, and using the tools and the techniques to then shine that peace and calm outward, that affects them. So
Yeah.
I guess if I could say one thing, just there's hope. There's hope.
Mm.
Don't lose that hope, cling to that.
Oh, thank you. What a great message. What a great message. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Um, Now I'm just kind of taking that in now. That's beautiful. There is. Is there anything else that you'd like to share just before we wrap up? And I appreciate you said a lot, but I just want to give you a chance if there's anything else you'd like to say. You don't have to.
Yeah. I feel like I've said it, but I guess maybe to anybody who's maybe sitting on the fence and not knowing if they should get on a call, I guess, what do you have to lose? These
Right.
calls are free. Jump on, talk to Russ.
Yeah.
It just felt like an immediate support network that I was jumping into that I didn't know was there, with my fear at first, but it is. And something else I wanted to say too is if you do this program, there's so much support in it with the people that are going through the program and who have graduated from the program, who are there to support, but also just like the weekly calls, like that was one thing too that made it for me, was to have that support and like-minded people who are struggling as well, but learning and then celebrating each other's wins and what we're learning and accomplishing. So it's awesome, but just get on the call. Have a call with Russ.
Yay. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate, I love this conversation. It's always great to talk to you. And it's so awesome to hear kind of the before and the after, and like, why did you decide to do this? So I'm grateful for all that. And so for, anybody who's watching, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the program, I'm definitely happy to talk to you about it. Feel free to just make a comment on the video, and we can chat. Megan mentioned a couple of the components about it, and I'll save that for another time. Yeah, but I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. There's part of it is about doing work on your own, and there's another part where we do work together as a group, and both of those together help people to move along quickly. There's accountability in the group and so on. But you also can go at your own pace. So it's flexible for people who might be busy. I don't know if any moms are busy out there, or dads. Probably not too busy. You have nothing to do, right? Hanging out all day, you just put your feet up and there's nothing to do. But if that's not you, then this would work with your schedule, however it best makes sense to you. And so I would love to talk to you guys. Anybody who's interested, it is a free call. I call it a planning session because I do want to get to know you a little bit, and I want to, I guess I want us to get to know each other. It's a mutual thing. So I want to hear about where you're struggling, what are your challenges, what's not going right. But I also want to hear about what is going right. What do what are your some of the things that you're winning? What's going well for you? What are your resources who supports you? What are your resources? Who or what are your resources? And then importantly, I would like to hear about what is ideal for you given your situation with your family, given the reality. Unfortunately, I can't heal any diagnoses. I can't fix people. Medically speaking, I wish that I could, but if things were, what does ideal look like for you and your family? And then if I feel like I can help get you there and do that quickly, I will definitely tell you how I can do that. And if not, I'm going to be honest also and just say, I don't think I'm the guy, or I don't think I can help you. But in that case, I will steer you towards who or what I think could help you. So, I don't want you to get off the call feeling disappointed in any way. But I would love you to feel that you have some clarity and all the facts you need to figure out how you want to proceed with your family, if it's with me or not. But you're going to get the gift of clarity, and that's the point of the call. A good picture of like what is exactly going on, and if I wanted to change my life, what would it take to get there with a plan. So that's what that is about. It is free, but I do ask, there's a lot of people that this video is going to go out to, but I ask you to please only book that call if you're really serious about wanting to change your life. This is not for people who dabble, who want to stick their toes in, just see who is this Russ guy, and question me. I mean, who am I? That's fine. I'm happy to talk to you, but not on this call. This is for people who are ready to move ahead, who are ready, even if you don't know what it looks like, basically, and to be very blunt, you are sick and tired of the struggle and the pain and the overwhelm that you're feeling every day. as a special needs parent, and you want it to be different. And you're open to doing the work. You're open to having life be different, even if you don't know what that looks like or how that could be. But Meghan, you shared it was great. You know, you didn't know what that would look like. You just knew you wanted it, exactly. And that's who I'm looking for. It's okay if you don't know. That's something that we figure out as we go along. It's something that the program addresses. But you know, it's okay if you don't know. You just have to want it. So that's who I'd love to speak with. So here's how you do that. I'm going to put a link in the comments below to book a call with me. Click the link. It goes to my calendar page. You pick whatever date is still open, and I will get on the phone with you at the time you chose. So when the phone rings, it's me. At that, you know, when the phone rings at the time you chose, I had a lady say, "Well, how I know it's you?" Well, you know, you told me to call you at 8 o'clock, so the phone's ringing. It's me. So yeah, I'll call you at the time. So please make sure that you can be on the phone with me then, or you expect that you will have minimal, you know, interruptions. But it's an important call. Please pick up. Don't miss it. It is something. Hopefully, you know, it doesn't change my life if somebody gets on the call or not, but it could change yours. I guess that's not entirely true. It does change my life because I love meeting awesome people like Meghan. And you know, that does change my life. But I guess basically, like Meghan said before, you have nothing to lose except your stress and your overwhelm and your anxiety and your sleepless nights, and the feelings that come up with how do you deal with really challenging behavior. This is the best thing that I could offer to parents who want to do the best for their kids. Right? It starts with you. And again, it's not something you don't know, but I'd love to show you how to do that if you're willing, if you're open to it, so that you can be the parent you want to be. So I think that's about it. Click the link. You can book your call that way. If you would like to know more about the program, I'm happy to talk about that. And that's pretty much it. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. That's it for now. Any last thoughts?
No.
No, we're good? All right, cool. We had too many last thoughts. All right, so thank you everybody for joining us, and hopefully I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.